Decker. Welcome to today's episode. We had an earlier episode planned today, but things kind of fell through. But if you check out our social medias, we have updated you guys with a new date and way that we are going to work. As usual, we are going to look at our social medias, make sure everything is up and running right now. We're going live today on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and more, making sure everything's accessible for our fans to look at, making it public on Facebook. And after that, we should be good to go. I want to welcome everyone kind of tuning in here early with us today. So let's go ahead and get our sponsors here. We want to talk about them, go into detail about all of them. You can see them listed on the bottom. We have H&K Construction and Consulting and Management, which is owned by Alan Keppel. They do quality homes at a price you easily can afford. Make sure to check out their Facebook page at H&K Construction. Next up is Grable Funeral Home, is a local funeral home dedicated to those we serve, owned by Roy Grable, located in Edmonson County, Kentucky, located in Brownsville, right as you get off the bridge. Next up is Tent Studios by Henry Menendez. Tent Studios is a window tinting service in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They can do work on anything and have done some nice work recently, including things on cyber trucks. They can do things on homes, etc. Alfred's Pharmacy is a local pharmacy with the best experience in Edmonson County. They're located on the local strip. They're beside CNA Plumbing. They're beside Tabitha's shop for where they do hair, etc. But Alfred's Pharmacy is the best. They do the best pharmacy that we have around here. They have some great people there working, a lot of experience, which is the best you can get there. Martin Sons Plumbing, a local plumbing business in Edmonson County, owned by Martin Plumbing, located in Edmonson County. Be sure to give them a call at 270-597-7866. Kevin Alexander is our Edmonson County clerk, located at the clerk's office across from the bank. Kevin, you can do all your deeds and nils with. He's a great guy to get in contact with. Corey Colberth can do anything when it comes to insurance needs. He does a lot of work locally. He can do you anywhere. He can do you anywhere you got business to do. Go ahead and do your work through Corey Colberth. He is located at the Kentucky Farm Bureau building across from the old Active Day, leaving Brownsville going toward Cleveland. Lake Forest Recruiting, they do their best to get psychiatrists and psych nurse practitioners for their customers and for their patients. They get the best you can get. That is Jay Holland. Braden's Blessings is a local charity honoring the life of Braden Combs, who lost his life in 2019. They do work with just about everything. They recently did work with Edmonson County Prom. They did a lot of work there, a lot of great stuff. And once again, that is Allison and Jay Holland. So make sure to give them a call if you have any needs. They're the best in the business out there. And last, we're going to end with our show sponsors, the Hidden Homestead and Scott Skaggs Photography. The Hidden Homestead is a local venue owned by Scott Skaggs in Cleveland, Kentucky. It excels in doing things like weddings, parties, and events. They are multi-stored, so they have 2 stories there. They have lots of room. You can do a little bit of everything. Nice views, a great place, which is kind of linked with Scott Skaggs Photography with the Hidden Homestead. Scott Skaggs does the photos and can do them for a bit of everything. Senior photos, weddings, and really anything you can think of, Scott can do it. So thank you, Scott, for being our show sponsor today. Today, though, we are joined by Calloway Boys Basketball, Calloway County, in Western Kentucky in the Region 1. We've not got to cover a lot of Region 1 and Region 2. We usually stick with Region 3 and Region 4. And Coach Brad had reached out to me, and I was really interested in us getting them on here, doing a show, talking to their players. Like we are heading out to Collins this weekend to cover lots of teams, talk to coaches, things like that. Calloway will be there as well. So just a good way to get in touch with some of these players, talk to them, figure out their game, know who they are, and get to hear about their expectations for this season. I'm going to welcome the guys in here and get them here on stream with us. Guys, can everybody hear me, and are we good?
Yeah.
All good. Some head shakes, so I think we're good. So, Coach Brad, I want to go into straight with you, and you talk a little bit. Tell us about your team, where you guys are located, and a little bit about the team.
Well, Calloway County here in Murray, Kentucky, which is a tradition with Murray State University being here. Over here in Region 1, our team, we're returning 6 seniors of grow up as I've been here. All the way these guys have been to elementary school, some of them, and then all of them been together since middle school. And watching them young men has just been a real treat for me. That's been the greatest treat of all. Seniors with some young guys too it makes it. And I just wish time would slow down so I could be with these guys longer. They're really coach.
Yeah. I want to, like I said, I want to give everybody the ability to introduce themselves, talk about themselves a little bit, sports they play, etc. I want to start with Connor. We'll go on to Eli, and then we'll go on to Jonah. Just kind of introduce yourself, the sports you play, positions, things like that. Can you guys hear Connor?
No.
I didn't think so. I wasn't hearing him go through, Connor. You might have to disconnect from the AirPods. I'm not sure what you have to do. I couldn't hear you saying there.
Hear me now?
Perfect. Good.
Okay. So I play basketball and baseball. In basketball, my main two positions are more of a guard spot, like shooting guard or point guard. And in baseball, I play more of a shortstop, middle infield, and I pitch some. So.
Yeah. And on to you, Eli.
Yep. And I play point guard on the basketball court.
Now you, Jonah.
I only play basketball, and I play more of a 3 or 4. I play a little bit more of high school ball.
Yeah. I want to talk to all you guys about this. I'd sent this question to Coach Brad. I want all of you guys to kind of touch on it. Y'all can go in the order you want. But speak to me about the summer ball experience so far, the tournaments you guys have been playing in, playing in front of these coaches, things like that. What's do you know a little bit on the win-loss record? Have you guys been winning more, growing as a team, things like that? We'll start with Coach Brad.
Well, the summer is the most fun thing about the summer is being able to just experience it. So being able to also, travel has been a lot of fun for our guys over the years. We've been to the University of Alabama and Auburn. David Lipscomb. This year we went to Bethel to start out, then Middle Tennessee State as well. So these guys are pretty. The most exciting thing is just watching them kind of bond on these trips and being able to connect with each other and grow in relationships as well as grow on the floor. We kind of measure our success by that. We've been off to a pretty good summer, and we've been having some fun. And for these guys is just to play with great joy. And that's what I look for most in the summer is seeing them play with great happiness and having fun with each other, and winning's a bonus to that, obviously.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd like if the players, you guys could touch a little bit on the experience you guys have had in summer ball, and even touch on AAU a little bit, maybe some teams you guys are playing for this summer.
So in summer ball, I don't usually play AAU, but in summer ball, we got to the point where we're communicating a lot better through the court, through what we do on the court, and it's helped our game grow so much. And I can say through both of my teammates that we've grown as more men. Like we've gotten better, and it makes our team better. Us how we just play through each other.
We'll go on to you, Eli. Share your experience, and then talk a little bit about AAU ball.
Yeah. So to go on first about playing with high school this summer, we've really grown. Definitely able to play together better and play off each other's strengths. And that's where I think we've only lost one game. We've been playing together. And then about AAU, I play for a club in Nashville. Currently playing on the UAA. We from Under Armour Rise to the UAA on that this spring.
Then I'd like to go on to you, Jonah. Share your summer ball experience. Talk a little bit about AAU.
I've really liked summer so far and playing with my team. I like who I'm playing with, and we won a lot of games and scored a lot of points, and we played good defense and good offense both. And I play with Griffin, and we're on Under Armour too, and we're doing really good too.
Yeah, that's great. So, Coach, I want to speak on you with this. You guys are going to Collins, like I said, this weekend to showcase some basketball, play in front of a lot of people. Do you know about your guys' schedule when your first game is that day and who you guys will be playing?
We play Friday at noon against Warren East. Will be our first game, and then it'll kick off from there. You got a lot of teams coming into
Yeah.
to the Titans Rocket shootout, and I want to definitely give a shout out to Coach Gaither for the program he runs and how he puts together that many teams that come in. Still is mind boggling. But he's very buttoned up, and there's a lot of coaches that come watch the event. That it's very well organized. You have some of the best teams, throughout the state of Kentucky, and then also you have teams from Indiana and Ohio coming in as well. So it's just an amazing event. It's kind of what's really become, our Super Bowl, if you will, of the summer. It's been a very fun event for our guys, and they get to showcase their abilities. And that's something we targeted colleges to go play at this summer as well. So our guys can, you know, um, showcase what they can do at the next level. All three guys that we have here, have a desire to play, college basketball, and they've done very well, and we want to try to put them in as many scenarios as possible for them to showcase their individual skills, but more importantly, what they can do as a unit and as a team. And so, any opportunity we can get to make that happen, we want to do that for our guys and to help them be able to reach, the goals that they're looking to try to accomplish as Connor said, as young men. And Collins, ends the summer with that live event is an amazing way to end the summer for us to go into dead period.
Yeah. So you kind of speak on college a little bit, how these guys would like to play at the next level. I want to ask all of them this individually. Let's talk a little bit about the recruiting process. If you guys have had any schools reaching out to you, talking to you, things like that, we'll go with Connor, then Jonah, then Eli. But tell me about some coaches you got to speak to, colleges that might be looking at you, things like that.
I've more junior colleges have reached out to me, like Ren Lake, and I've had Brescia's assistant coach and head coach talk to me some, but I've still been in the process of just making myself better, getting myself in front of more people, and just going from there.
Then Jonah.
I haven't been talking to many people. I'm not sure if we're going to be having many people just at Collins this weekend, but the men yesterday, Indiana Wesley a little bit, and Lipscomb, and those have really been it for recently.
Yeah. And then on to you, Eli.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of schools at different levels. I've got interest from Division I down to NAIA, and just being in contact with them and trying to build relationships and figure out where the best fit is.
100%. I want to speak on this a little bit about your guys' team. Since unfortunately I didn't really get to cover you guys or see much of y'all last year, I want to ask Coach this. And the players, you guys can chime in too. Feel welcome to chime in at any time. But Coach, from last year's team to this year's team, have you noticed what are some differences this team brings to you and some strengths they have on last year's team?
I mean, I think it's, last year didn't end the way we wanted it to end. And, I see our guys kind of carrying a chip on their shoulder about that a little bit. And I've seen, them as growing up, if you will, as young men. I mean, we have 6 seniors. I think the approach is much different than it was last year. I've been able to, see that early on in summer workouts and summer practices. These guys are working their tail off, and having a chip on your shoulder is not always a bad thing in competition. And so, that's the thing I think that jumps out to me is the desire to know that, hey, we've got to be much better defensively, and offensively we're pretty powerful offensively. I think it's on the defense end. I've seen the biggest growth this summer. That's been a treat for me to watch. Is just seeing the personal determination and the team determination to be able to get better defensively. And that's what I've been most impressed with, as well as just the communication they're having and playing together has been fun to watch. There's nothing prettier when the ball's moving around, zipping around, and we're getting good shots, and it's been fun to watch this summer.
Yeah, I want to ask you this too, because obviously a lot of this for me is giving up a player with your guys' roster, team, players, things like that. You had texted me a little bit about wanting to get more exposure in that area, which is true. There's not a lot of Region 1, Region 2 sources out there compared to some of the others. So I want to ask you this. What makes this team really so special? And do you think you've got to scout, look at the teams more than I have? Can this team win out Region 1 in your opinion?
Well, we can do a lot of things. We really can. Right now, I know you mentioned on there we're the region favorite. I would have to say the defending region champions are the region favorite, and they're in our district.
Yeah.
And Marshall County's, they're a very, very good team. Our region has very good coaches and good teams. We're going to focus on one game at a time, one day at a time, and just growing as a unit, and really just be in the moment. And that's kind of what we're talking about. We have 6 seniors here. I have to do the same. I don't want to look ahead at any day or any game. I want to live in the present with these guys, and hopefully, I've grown really close with these guys. They're my kids, So I want this time to slow down so we can just take advantage of every opportunity that we have together. But I'll let the guys answer that question too. They've been together a long time, and they're the ones in the trenches.
Players, I'll quote the question one more time though. Talk about can this team you guys really think win out Region 1? With teams like Marshall County in your district, he said, and a lot of good teams in Region 1. Do you think you guys have what it takes to win out the region? I'll let any of you guys speak.
I think we definitely have the capability to win the region, and I know that us 3 guys here definitely feel some desperation this year, as it's our last year. And we got one shot now. We got one shot to go play at Rupp Arena, and it feels like to us that this is what we worked for all these years, and we're really looking forward to getting a good run at it this year. And I do believe that we have the capability of winning.
And if Jonah or Connor, if you guys want to add anything on that, you can.
I think we're capable of winning the region this year, but a lot of other teams around here that are also full, and I think that one's going to be really good.
I agree. I mean, I think we're very capable. I mean, there's definitely a lot of good teams in this area, but whenever we all work together, we're on the same page. We can do a lot of great things.
Yeah, Coach, I want to direct this one more towards you. I want to ask you about the scheduling that you've got to do preparing for this upcoming season. Can you speak on some of the teams that you guys will be playing this year? And
You told me just a tad. I couldn't hear you.
Here, let me fix it for you. Got it. Add him back here. Can you hear me now, Coach?
Yes.
Okay. Can you speak on scheduling a little bit? Some of the teams you guys will be playing this year.
Yeah. So the guys know this. I definitely do not make easy schedules, and I push these guys with the schedule. We've got a really tough. That's going to be playing a lot of top talent in the state of Kentucky and outside the state of Kentucky as well. I definitely want to challenge these guys and push the limits. I have all the confidence in these young men in the world, and so they'll tell you they know how I feel about them. I've told them this for years. They should know how I feel about them, about how we schedule. We schedule to try to prep for the when it really matters in late February and March, and that's the goal of the schedule is with every coach. Is the highest level possible, tested, mentally and physically on the court, and be ready, to make a run in tournament time. That's what the preparation for our schedules has been like.
And I'm not sure if you can. I know some coaches have before. Can you speak on some of the teams you guys will be playing this year? Is there any games you can share with us?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up on my end.
Can you hear me now? Oh. Can you hear us, Coach? I'll take him out here and see if hopefully he can reconnect. But guys, I got a question for y'all. This is one I want to ask you guys. You guys got to spend a lot more time with Coach than I do. I want all of you guys to speak and answer on this one. I want you guys to talk about how practices are, how Coach motivates you guys. You know, what's the scene of practices and how is coaching practices and games and things like that?
Coach tries to make practices harder or just like the games. I mean, when we play against each other, when we go against the JV, I mean, we go against the best on best, and it helps prepare us for how game-like situations are.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of competition in practice, and that helps prepare us.
Anything you like to add, Jonah?
We do a lot of games. Try to prepare for already doing game situations in practice.
I think we might have you back, Coach.
Oh, all right. Sorry. I'm not sure what happened.
You're good. I was asking them a little bit. Tell me about how you are in practice this year. So tell me a little bit, how practices go with you guys, planning into games, things like that. I want to ask this too, is there any games that you guys, I know you had talked about one at a time every day, but is there any games that you guys another one like you guys prepare more for, like maybe rivalry, district, region, things like that?
Was that for me, Joe? I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'll ask it again. So game planning and going into games, is there any games you approach different? For instance, like a district matchup or a region matchup. You approach those differently?
Well, obviously, when you have, the rivalries that we have, I mean, there's competitions, it's a beautiful thing. And there's some really nice rivalries in Region 1 that obviously we get, we get geared up for every game, but just those wonderful rivalry games, that obviously, carry a little extra emotion with them. But, the thing about our schedule too, is it's an exciting schedule because these guys know they have to come to play. And so it's pretty easy to get excited about every game. But obviously with some of those rivalry games, the emotions are extremely high and, you can throw records out the window in rivalry games. And, we know that. And so our preparation obviously may be a little bit different, but we know so much, about, our teams in our region and, the scouting that we put in, we do that with every school. But, obviously, as tough of a district as we have and as good as our region is, you really got to put in the work. We have coaches in this region that really put in the work. There's some great coaches and so, yeah, I would say, there's just a little probably extra motivation there in some games with the emotional side of it. But our guys do a good job of being prepared to come to war every night because they know it's going to be a tough game. There's not many games where we can just coast through and, purposely, we schedule that way so our guys can be battle tested.
Yeah. I want to ask you this. I want the players to get into a little bit. You guys know it a little better. Speak on some of the players in this Region 1 that just make it so competitive. I know a guy personally like Matthew Lenkai at Marshall County is a really good player. And I believe, you guys got a really good region of players. Can you speak on some of the opponents you guys have and some of their standout players that you kind of prep for? We can start with you, Coach, and then the players can add on.
Well, we really, you started, you mentioned in district with, Matthew Lange is obviously, it was a phenomenal freshman last year. And, he has a very good talent around him as well with, Alex Staples and Tommy Robinson. They have the experience and they have young talent coming. And you can say the same about several of the teams in our region as well with, Graves County's returning again. They're returning some older guys that have experience and really good talent with some younger guys that can really go as well. And you can say the same for Murray in our district. and several other schools that put together some experienced guys that have young talent in this region. So it makes it, you got to be prepped. There's a lot of capable players here in Region 1.
If there's anything you guys, players, want to add on to that, you guys can, or we can move on to the next question. Just kind of chime in and let me know. Okay, perfect. I'll ask this to Coach. Again, this is something the players to add on to as well. What about this? We had talked about how the Region 1, Region 2 deserves more exposure, and to be in these same conversations with other regions, like Region 2, Region 3, Region 4, things like that. Why does this team deserve to be featured like that? Coach, what makes this team so special, and why you think people should give them the attention that other schools are getting?
Well, I think that it's the playing will take care of that, and winning will take care of that. For us, we have the 2A opportunity now that we have in Owensboro, and we've had some good exposure from that in the past as well. And so that really is kind of taking care of itself. Obviously, I think with Lyon County being so dominant last year and having such a great year and becoming state champions, we've played them or scrimmaged them every year that we've been here. So I've seen that trend really improve since I've been here. And so I see that trend changing a little bit, and I'm pretty happy with the exposure that we've gotten to this point. In fact, I think our guys are more worried about. We're not really worried about as much exposure as we're worried about handling business. And I think you can tell that from the previous question you asked about, about being Region 1 champions. Our guys we're focused on day to day. Is that the end goal? Obviously, that's the end goal for every player in Region 1. But these guys, I think you can tell by their maturity level is they're not taking anything for granted. I thought it was laid out very well. I think by Eli by saying, hey, this is our last run together. Let's enjoy every day. Let's enjoy every opportunity that we have, and the rest will take care of itself. And winning will take care of all the exposure for anyone in the state of Kentucky. Kentucky basketball is covered very, very well. And so that's where our focus is. Our focus is on winning, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, I love that answer as well. I'll ask this one for you again. Players, I'd like for you to touch in on this one a little bit. It's about some of your other teammates. You had mentioned some other names to me, like Luke Armstrong, Stephen Lane, Cole Lockhart. Speak on those other guys, some of the other guys who make up your roster, and what's special about them?
Well, to round out, with these three talent that we have, here with us today, you have Cole Lockhart and Stephen Lane and Jay Odom round out that senior class with 6 guys that have been together for so long. So, I mean, they are all, brothers. And, they're just a very, very special group of young men that play together for a long time. They know each other. And so that's really the most special part is just the story of how they've just grown together. And then you sprinkle in, Luke Armstrong will be a sophomore this year who started for us and averaged double digits last year and also grown a few inches. He's a very exciting talent as well. So it's, that entire mixture of guys makes for a really good recipe for some success that we could have at Callaway.
Yeah. And players, if there's anything you guys want to add on about those other names I listed, some of the other players on this squad, what makes you guys a team?
They just do a lot of the dirty work. I mean, we do dirty work too, but if we need some more players to do some extra things, they always just own up and they go and do it.
Yeah, I would add on to that. I agree with Connor. I think that those guys, they really are a great supporting. Another guy, Jackson Ames, who's really he's come on strong this summer and has provided really quality minutes for us. And those guys have always done a really good job for us of stepping up to the plate and accepting challenges when they're given to them.
Yeah, we've got people that go down and play defense, stuff like that, but everybody on our team that played sport, everybody's scored a lot this summer.
Yeah. And like I had said, getting into this, I'm really interested in talking about this team, obviously. Coach Cleaver, I want to ask you, we're 30 minutes in now. I want to ask you if there's anything extra you guys would like to add on. Tell people watching. Tell if there's coaches tuning in. Anything. I think this is a good moment to talk a little bit. If there's anything you want to say, mention, let people know. All the guys, players and coaches included. How we can kind of end this out.
I think for the fans here locally that watch these guys grow up, to me that's the real story. That's the real beauty of high school basketball is just watching, kids grow into young men. That's why us coaches do what we do. We want the most and the best for each and every player on our team, and that's the beauty of high school basketball is watching these kids develop into young men. That's the overall goal as a coach. Above and beyond wins and losses is, we hopefully made a positive impact in their lives to watch them grow. And the more people that tune in and know about them and get to know our kids, that's really what's important to me as, the exposure at the college level. We talk to coaches. I talk to a lot of college coaches about our players. And but the real story to me is just the growth that they've had and watching to see what their futures look like. And that's why we do what we do.
Then, like I said, any of you guys as players, if there's anything you want to add on, let the people know watching this. We got over 50 people in here now. This is a good spot maybe to say anything. If you guys have anything in mind.
I would just I would add that all of us are very excited for the upcoming season, and that we're ready to go.
Yeah, and I think that's good. Is there anything Connor or Jonah you guys would like to touch on? You're good. I always like to talk to players and coaches about this because we got a lot of younger viewership too. Freshmen, people in middle school, guys growing up ready to get to that level. I want to ask the players and coaches this question. All of you, I would love to answer this. What's some advice you would give to a younger athlete or player in high school trying to get minutes, growing as a player, just taking in their role? Start with you, coach, and then we'll get every other guy to answer, and we'll be good to go from there.
I'm sorry, Joe. I couldn't make it out.
I said, if you could give some advice to a high school player, a freshman, a sophomore, a kid trying to get more minutes, things like that, what advice would you give to a player like that?
I mean, there's no substitute for putting in the work. You always want to see your kid play with high confidence, and high confidence comes when hard work meets success. There's really no other recipe that's out there. You've got to work and go get it. And these guys have really put in the work to be able to accomplish that. And, our younger guys in our program have seen that. These guys have been great examples for our younger guys and the work that they put in. And, that's what you dream of as a coach is, a player-led program. And that's what we currently have. And these three gentlemen on the phone right here, along with our other three seniors, have been just. I'm so proud of them, and how they've also invested in the younger guys, and even in our little league program. Our little league program that these guys have invested in, and all these kids look up to them, and will remember them, and they've created some special memories for my son, and my son's 10 and all of his buddies that play, and all those little kids look up to these guys so much, and they have probably a greater impact than they'll ever realize. And that's pretty special.
And I'd like you guys to touch on that again. Some advice you would give to different athletes. We'll start with Connor, we'll go to Jonah, and then end off with Eli.
I just think that if you want to get minutes and you want to, make a difference, you got to put the work in. Like Coach said, if you want to do it, you will do it, and you can do it. You just got to put your mind to it.
I think if you can play defense and guard someone on the other team, then you can play. But if you can score, you can't play defense. You'll get.
Yep, I agree. I think that working hard is important, and I also think that if you're a younger guy, finding your role, figure out what your team needs, and then be able to provide that, and that'll get you on the court.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All you guys there. Coach, anything you want to leave us off with as we get off here before we go?
No, we appreciate the invite and being able to join the show. We wish you the best of luck in your show, and I know you're going to be at Collins, so I'm sure we'll see you. And thanks for the opportunity to get our guys on here and talk about Callaway County basketball.
No problem. And we're going to look to cover you guys more into the year. Come by and watch you guys at Collins. I want to say thank you all for getting on here. Y'all are all welcome back in the future. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.